I woke up this morning in the mood to do a video. I know, kind of weird, but here we are. And today I'm going to talk about zines. And I've been seeing lots of people making zines, and this has been really weird for me because in my mind, this is a zine. These are zines from back in the early 2000s. I think this was 2002. This is one that Tisha Moore did. Very, very cool zine. And then this one, this was just a sample copy of another one. I think this was around 2004. And so what I'm used to, a zine is a publication that a person puts out that, you know, like there's no advertisements. It's not a magazine. You know, what we think of as a magazine, even though it might look like one. But there's no advertisements. It's usually just one person who's the editor, and they offer subscriptions, but it's a limited run. So, you know, there's maybe only 500 subscribers, and she prints 500 copies, and then that's it. So to me, that's a zine. This was the same situation. It was colorful and glossy like this, but all of the issues were sold out. So she offered where you could buy a sample, which was just a black and white photocopy, just to kind of see what was in it. This is called the Gleaner, and it had all kinds of, this one was really cool because she put all kinds of inclusions. You know, that's a napkin and little fold out thingies, and there was always some ephemera in there for you. So in my mind, these are zines. So yeah, 2002, 2004, fast forward 20 years, and now these are zines. And you know, 20 years ago, this was a one-page book. This is what we called them. And it's really, that's still what it is, but now we're calling them zines. So it's so fascinating to me how that happens. You know, things come back around, and then you just call them something different, and they become new and fresh. And I have no problem with that. It's exciting, and it kind of introduces it to a whole nother generation. So yeah, these are the zines that I've been seeing people make. And I decided I wanted to make one. And I decided this because I've been teaching a lot of local workshops. That's kind of where I'm at this year. Last year I did tons of like craft shows and things, and then this year it's more classes and stuff. And I needed an idea for a new class or workshop, and so I thought about this. This is like a little, you know, toilet paper book, and then I just doodled some flowers on painted paper and cut them out, and then put them in this little kind of mini junk journal thing. And the pages were from an expired or outdated local publication. And I really liked this idea, but I thought, okay, translating this into a workshop, this is going to be an all-day ordeal, because you got to paint the papers, you got to let them dry, and then there's the doodling of the flowers, there's the pages of the book, and then the construction of the book, you know, covering it and all that. And it was cute as can be, but I just felt like it was too much for an afternoon workshop. So that's when I switched gears to the zine. But I really liked the magazine pages or the publication pages that I used in this one. And I got these from a local publication called the Idle Class. And it's about the arts in Arkansas. And not just visual arts, but performing arts, you know, theater and music and everything. So the editor gave me a box of outdated issues, this particular issue, so I've got a whole bunch of them, and it is just full of colorful goodness. So then I thought, okay, I can make a zine. I can use just this one publication for the zine itself and for all the flowers, and make it to where the images here are the backgrounds of the flowers. So, you know, instead of using painted papers, it's just the magazine pages that provide the color. So I like that idea, and that's what I went with. So, and by the way, I'll put a link to the auto class, you know, down in the video description somewhere. And this latest issue, the newest one, is this is kind of the visual arts issue. And if you mosey on over to page 12, there's an interview with who? Shannon Green, and a picture of Audrey, my paper bead dress form. And Audrey is hanging out now at the Fayetteville Public Library. She is on display there, and she has made a friend, which I'm very excited about. And she'll be there for the next few months before she moves on to she'll be at the visitor center downtown at the end of the year. So anyway, if you can just get your hands on some kind of a colorful magazine. This one has kind of thick, glossy pages in it. And this is what I'm using. This is what I'm going to show you. I'll show you how to use. Maybe, because I'm so out of practice with videos, maybe I'll just make this one be the construction of the zine, which we all know how to do. But, you know, I'll show it anyway just in case. And then maybe I'll do a separate video for the flowers. And they're very simple. Even if you don't know how to draw or doodle, you don't have to know how to do these, because I'll show you. It's super easy. And I used all kinds of colorful paint pens on these, but then I found that I really don't think I need to. I have a new batch that I've just used black and white and nothing else. Just let the magazine pages provide the color. So, okay, let's just do that, and we'll see how far I get. Alright, so I've got my publications, and okay, these are some zines that I made. I decided that I wanted to, well, let's flip through this one, because this is my first prototype. And I made this little belly band because Donna Joy gave me a zine once, and she had a little belly band like this around hers, which I thought was brilliant. And I would show that to you if I could find it. Because it was sitting on the shelf here in my art room, so I could look at it and be inspired by it, because she does fabulous stuff. And I have evidently I've said it somewhere, and I can't find where it is. Don't tell her. So yeah, I made the little belly band, and this is all made 100% from this. So there's that. And then I chose just a really kind of a plain page for the background, because I didn't want it to compete. I didn't want the flowers to have to compete with a really busy background. So I just pulled a plain page out of there and folded it into my zine and put my doodle flowers on there. I'm really happy with this. This is just fun. Kind of a doodle flower sampler book or something. I don't know. But yeah, this, I think I'm going to make a local workshop for this. And these are some of the zines that I made. This is out of that same magazine, and I just picked a blank white page because this, I think the flowers would really pop on a plain background. You can use your painted papers. I've got, that's just kind of what I do when I'm not inspired to do anything else. I'll just put paint on paper and, you know, scrape it on with a credit card or use a brush or whatever. These are on some magazine pages, and then some of these are just plain computer paper. There's some dictionary pages. There's some, you know, deli paper, whatever. It's just, you just have to trust me that as a creative person, you will feel more complete if you have a bin of painted papers to pull from. When I run out of painted papers, I'm just not right. you really need to have some painty papers on hand. And they don't have to be fancy. They don't even have to be good, because, you know, you can always just collage over them or whatever. So just slap paint onto paper, and then you've got this supply that is at your fingertips when you need a little painty something. So you can use those for your zine. This is another one from, I don't think that, no, this is from one of these. The Walton Arts Center does the same thing. I've got boxes full of some of their past publications. You know, they're done. They're not giving them out anymore. So they're just kind of destined for a recycle bin. And you should really just check around your town with organizations like your local theater company that might print out their show brochures, or your local tourist bureau, and then you can find all kinds of colorful things to use and repurpose, which is what I love to do. But I like these. They're staple bound, so that when you pull the pages out, you get like one really long page. So you've got this whole thing to work with, and that's just extra fun. So that is what I used to make this one. Because see, it's in a regular zine, you get, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages or 8 surfaces. And then if you use the long sheet, you can get a whole lot more. Now this is cut differently than the regular standard zine. But yeah, you get a lot more pages. And this is not something that I would use often, because I really feel like, for me, this is plenty of surfaces. It's even sometimes too many, you know. So there. Okay, and I had, you know, this has a lot of colorful pages in it, and I thought, well, what if I want to use one of those really colorful pages, but I don't want my flowers to get lost on the background? Well, okay, there's always the gesso, you know, you can put a light coated gesso on it to push it to the background. I really don't like doing that. I have never been a fan of just gesso for gesso's sake. So I just did a little different. I took one of the bright, colorful pages out of here. It was this page. And I thought, if I want to make a zine out of this one and use it as a background, I can knock it back a little bit by putting something over it, like napkins or tissue paper. And I decided maybe a napkin liner would be good, because it's like almost like gesso, but you get a little bit of texture, and then it just doesn't look like weird painted weirdness. That's just weird to me when gesso shows like that. You know, I don't know what it. Evidently, I have gesso issues that have developed over time that I feel very strongly about. Who knew? So yeah, this was just a napkin liner. You know, when you separate the layers of a napkin, you get these thin pieces of napkin tissue, and that's what I used on that. Maybe we'll do this so I can show you how to do that. And then you can use, this was a piece of wrapping paper. It was not this standard size. It was just, you know, wrapping paper scrap. And all I did was square up the corners and then folded it just like a standard zine. But because it's the size that it started out with was different, now my pages are bigger. So this is fun. I can use some bigger flowers on here, and it's got a lot going on, so I think I would maybe like tear some of these and put them over. Yeah, maybe I'll do that instead of, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that with this one. So, let's just start scavenging. We're just going to scavenge this little guy. And let's pick a page. I want to use a kind of a colorful page. I really liked that one that I already used, but I already used it. So let's do, oh, I know what I want. There's a couple pages here that have the covers of some of the back issues right here, which I think is fabulous. And these are the covers of some back issues of the Idle class. 10 years of covers. And these are just the perfect size for some smaller flowers. I've used tons of these. But I think I'll just make one of these. I'll use, I don't know which one. Let's just go ahead and use this one. Let's just make a zine out of this one. And I'm going to take some Mod Podge. This says matte Mod Podge. There's a good chance that it's lying because this is the jar that I just kind of dump excess glue into. You know, if there's just a little bit left, I'll just pour it into there. And so it's probably got matte Mod Podge, gloss Mod Podge. There's likely some Elmer's in there. Maybe some reptile glue. Yeah, there's just no telling what's in there. But it works. That's fine. So I'm just going to take a brush. I'm going to grab this napkin. Has some, you can see some of the flowers. Well, they'll get totally lost on here. But yeah, it has the kind of the ghost of the design of the napkin on there. I don't think you can even see that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to show up. So what I'm going to do is just put a very light coat of Mod Podge on here. And I want to really get my edges good because I don't want any peeling. And now I'll just lay my napkin on there. And I'm good with, you know, wrinkles. It doesn't have to be completely flat. In fact, I can kind of wrinkle it on purpose a little bit. And then a very light coat of Mod Podge over the top. Really paying attention to those edges. You know, this is going to soak right through the napkin. Yeah, I know I've not been on YouTube lately, but that doesn't mean I've not been doing art stuff pretty much every day. Y'all, I had an art retreat last month. Me and Donna Joy, remember Donna Joy from the cemetery? Yeah, we hosted our first art retreat here in Fayetteville. We had 20 people who came in from 11 different states for the weekend. We had 4 amazing workshops, and it was so fun. Like, I can't wait for next year, and we may do it twice next year. I don't know. It was just phenomenal. The group was just, you know, that perfect mix of people. I think they all had a really good time. They said they did. I don't think they would lie. Anyway, it was fabulous. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it's work that I would definitely do again. Okay, I'm going to speed this up. She's still going. Now, that's pretty much dry. I think it's good. So now you have some interesting texture. You've kind of pushed back all of the busy color and pattern. Now all I need to do is trim off the excess napkin, and we're good to go. Okay, so to fold this, you know, and there's a way you can fold it so that all of your creases are turned exactly the right way, and I just don't have time to mess with that or to learn it. So I just do, you know, hot dog style for the first fold. And I make my creases really, really sharp. And then we go hamburger. And then reverse hamburger. And reverse hamburger. Yeah. Whatever. You get the idea. So you end up with that. And now for the cut. On this one, we're just going to do the one cut down the middle. And see, you've got like these 4 sections, and you want to cut across the middle too in the hot dog line. So I'm going to get my thing. Yeah, like this, and put it in the hot dog line. And then I'll get my this and just cut from this crease to this crease. Yeah, I can't really see what I'm doing, but that feels about right. Okay. So you end up with a little thing like that. And then you're going to poke. You just turn it back like this with the slit on top, and you poke both your sides out. Just kind of refold those so that both are poked out. And then, oh yeah, see, I didn't cut quite on the seam. That's okay. And then line everything back up and fold it all down. That's a little wonky up there and it's bothering me, so I'm gonna cut that off. Cut off whatever offends you. And I think everything else looks good. And then go in, and I'm just going to use a glue stick because, you know, like I said, I was doing this for an idea for a workshop, and at my workshops I just use glue stick because it's inexpensive and, you know, easy to provide for everyone. So I go around all the edges with a glue stick. You can use whatever glue you want. You can use double stick tape. I like score tape for that. And also go along the edges of your center slice that you made. And then remember that you're doing this. Go, fold everything down and crease it well. And then I like to just pick what I want for my cover, because you can really pretty much, you know, finagle this around and make any one of them your cover. Sometimes it'll kind of fold naturally into how it wants to be, but yeah, you can force it to conform to your will. And that looks good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Voila! Okay, I'm going to let this kind of sit up and dry. That didn't take very long, so I think we should just go directly to flowers. I won't make this 2 videos, we'll just make it one super long, boring one. So let's go to flowers. And what I've done, okay, I've got this big bucket of paint pens. And I use these for my workshops. So I've got a ton in every color imaginable, all different brands. Some are water-based, some are oil-based. You can use colorful paint pens if you want. But like I said, if you have a magazine that already has colorful images, you don't really need all those colorful paint pens unless you just want them. I did use them on my first batch, like I said, and it worked fine. You know, it's got the color of the magazine page plus some colorful paint pen to go with it, and that's good. But I'm thinking it's probably not necessary. So on this one, I'm just going to use black and white. So what I've got some black and white paint pens, some fats and some skinnies, and then I've also got some black and white gel pens and a black Sharpie. Okay, now this is going to be kind of important if you're using a glossy magazine like this. If you write on it with paint pen and you let it dry, you can come back and scratch that paint pen right off. And that also means that if you have the paint pen down and you go over it with another paint pen, you're going to pull the first layer off. It just doesn't work. So you can't do paint pen on top of paint pen. Now I did have luck with some different brands that did okay, but for the most part, I would try to avoid layering paint pen layers on glossy magazine pages, because it doesn't really work. Yeah, the paint pen that you put on top removes whatever was on bottom, and then you gunk up your paint pen. That's where these gel pens come in, because they work beautifully over the top of the paint pen on the glossy page without removing the paint pen. So, and of course with the Sharpie, you can do what you want over Sharpie. It doesn't care. Sharpie don't care. You do have to be careful about if you use Sharpie over paint pen, you can gunk up your Sharpie. I do it anyway, and I just make sure that, you know, after I do it a little bit, I kind of do this to clean off the tip of my Sharpie. So, I mean, look at this. That just needs to be a flower, right? Because that is so pretty. And you don't have to be able to draw or even doodle well to do this. Trust me on this, because I don't draw. I have about a handful of doodle shapes that I can do fairly consistently, and I'm okay with it, but they're not awesome. But here's just some easy shapes that I do that I will show you, and you can practice them a little bit on scrap paper if you're not confident with making the doodle shapes, but they're easy. And if they don't work for you, find what works for you. It's so hard to teach someone how to doodle, because I feel like we all have different doodles inside us. And I don't know what your inner doodles are. I can't help you make them come out. You have to nurture them on your own, and you do that with just repeating them. And, you know, you get that muscle memory for your inner doodles. Okay, so an easy one to do is make a circle. Don't worry about your circle being round. It can be kind of roundish. It doesn't matter. Make 3 petals like this, and like this. Don't worry about it if they're all 3 different sizes and they're not spaced evenly. Just move on with your life. It's not a big deal. So then between the petals, you make the little, you know, the petal behind the petals. Like that. And don't worry if they're wonky and wobbly and weird. It does not matter. There's your flower. That's one of the easiest flowers to do. Another one that I like to do is, and to me it's just easier if I start with the circle. It keeps me from, I don't know, it gives me something to work around. It keeps me from just going all over the place. So I start with the middle and then just make these kinds of petals. Sometimes I end up with 4, sometimes I end up with 5. So there's that. I like on the green parts, make a leaf, and you can just do this. And that can be your leaf. Like bigger one there. And let's see, this one, look, okay, I can make pointy petals sometimes by just going, you know, kind of same as these, but make them in a point. And if I turn my paper as I go, they tend to come out better. So there we have that. I can, you know, could add some more behind, but I just kind of like that 4-petal thing. And what can we do with this guy? Oh, another one that I like is this kind of almost a paisley shape or a teardrop shape. And you can just connect a few together. So there's some ideas for creating some doodle flowers. Now, I want to make sure that that's dry. So I've gone through, and I just like to, I'll go through the whole magazine and just, you know, pick out pretty sections and doodle some flowers on them. And sometimes if it's a dark page, I'll use the white. If it's a light colored page, I will use either the black paint pen, or I usually just use the Sharpie. Let's use Sharpie on this one. I like this one. And let's do, okay, this is another one that I really like. I'll start with the circle in the middle and then just do wiggly petals like that. Because, you know, they're wonky on purpose. And then you can go and do this and kind of, you know, give the illusion of the petals behind the petals. And then there you have it. So the Sharpie works well on the lighter backgrounds. This is a lot of dark ones. Let's do this one. I love this one. This is a local artist named Jason Jones who just does the most amazing art. He's got murals all over the place, and they're just weird and fabulous. I love them. Okay, so what's another shape? Sometimes I have to look at what I did before to remember what shapes I can do. Oh, that one. Okay, here's one that I am not good at. All right, so let's do a small one right here. The skinny. And if I do it this way, I can sometimes manage and then go back and fill in. But if I try to just do it all the way around, oh, I end up with a mess. Okay, that's not too bad. That one worked out. So see, sometimes if you just start out and, you know, you don't have to try to make the petals going around, you know, like clockwise or anything. Just do them opposites and then fill in so that they can at least have a chance at being evenly spaced. Let's see. Another light colored one. Here we go. I think this is another Jason Jones. And for this, okay, here's like the simplest one, and it's supposed to be wonky, so it doesn't really matter. But you just start making, you just do this. And I like to do 4, and then I put the center in last on those. Because see, that's easy. It always ends up wonky for me, and I don't really care. It's supposed to be. See if I can do one with 5. Okay, that's not too bad. So yeah, these are fun. They're easy to cut out. That's my other criteria for these, because I'm cutting them out, and I super duper hate fussy cutting, so they have to be easy to cut out. I don't want any, you know, super details that I have to snip out. That's irritating. Oh, there's also, you can do this one. And then make a little and a little and that. That one's easy. So, okay, you get the idea. They don't have to be fancy or difficult. Let's make a big leaf right here, and then a little leaf right here. So there's some options. And I usually do that so that I can make sure I get a variety of leaves and flowers, and you know, you can make them fancier if that's what you want, but this works for me. Then I like to go back in and I will add some details, like just little lines like this one. I might use my skinnier white. Let's scooch in. What's that? Yeah. I use my skinnier one to go in and go whoop, whoop, like that. And let's see, maybe with the leaves, like that. And I like to do the, you know, just a line and then some dots. That's easy. You know, dots are easy and fun. And with this one, maybe like that, because these leaves are kind of, or these petals are kind of fat. So you can do that. And this one, you can do the good old standby dot, dot, dot. These are not meant to be realistic in any way, shape, or form. That needs something else. I'm thinking maybe it needs that. Like that. Okay, so now we've got some details with the skinnier pen. And we're going to make sure it's all dry. And I mean, this is good, but I like to give it that little extra layer of doodly. So I take, this is the black gel pen. This is the Uniball Signo UM153. And you can get these off Amazon. I buy them by the box full because these, to me, these are the best gel pens on the planet. This is the best white gel pen in the universe. So that's just my opinion. But you can take this and then just kind of go over your white area, and you don't even have to go over it perfectly, just because when I cut out, I'm not going to cut them out perfectly either. But see, that gel pen marks beautifully over the white paint pen. And then it just makes it kind of extra doodly. I don't know what else to call it. I like it. So yeah, this is optional, but this is just what I've been doing and enjoying. I love this. I think this one's my favorite shape. And I don't really go over the skinny pen because skinny pen over skinny pen makes no sense, so I don't bother. I just go over the fat lines with the skinny pen. Now, I will say that when I have dots, if I make dots and I want to go over them with the skinny pen, this is kind of fat, so I'll go ahead and... See, these are kind of fat white dots, so I can go ahead and use the paint pen on them because I'm not writing over them. I'm just making a little dot. So yeah, it's not really going to remove the ink underneath. It's only when you drag across it like you're making a line, then it starts to remove the ink underneath. So that's perfectly fine. So okay, those are good. And I'll show you some of the ones we did in Sharpie. I'll just go over those with the white gel pen. And instead of using the gel pens, you can use your paint pens, like I said, but totally up to you. Here's this one. So we'll use the white gel pen, and then just kind of, to me, this just makes everything pop a little bit more, and I just like the way it looks. But you do you. So there's that one. And I think I would probably use this to make maybe some squiggle lines, because yeah, this was squiggly, so let's just keep with the squiggles. Okay. And there's that one. When I did my first one, I think I used each and every one of these to make a flower. Because they're just the right size. That's one thing you have to keep in mind when this is your size. You can't have a nice big bulky flower. You got to kind of keep them small. So these were just perfect. Alright, where else did I go? This one. Okay. Let's do that. And maybe just a line. Like that. These will dry on their own, but that takes a few minutes because, glossy paper, so I just kind of speed it up so that they don't come off on the other page. Is that all I did? I don't remember. Oh yeah, we did these. We did these. Now, for these, I think I like, in this kind, I like to go in and put some little dots here. Just like that. And then we can do the line with the dots. Like that. And these, I just like to do the boop boop on these. The parentheses, yes, they are parenthetic flowers. What else? I'm out of ideas. I don't know. You can just make little, I don't know what that is, but there it is. Like that. Or just the little lines. Don't make it hard, make it fun. So, there we have it. Now, once you have that done, then you can go in and you can cut these out. And did I finish my ones over here? I did. I've got a bunch in here that I already did. And when I go in and cut them out, yeah, when you're drawing, make sure you look front and back, because sometimes I drew a flower over here and then turned the page and there was something really awesome on this side. So yeah, watch that. I guess we need to scooch back out. Then I just cut, and like I said, you cut around them, but not really fussy cut. Just kind of, it's the kind of sort of fussy cut. You know, follow the shape, but you don't necessarily have to be right on the line. Because I just have no patience for cutting things out. I like to use cutout stuff. I just don't like the process of the cutting out. And I know some people find it really therapeutic. They enjoy doing it. I'm just not one of those people. So there you have it. I'm feeling like I could put some little black dots. See, now that I look at it, why not do this? Or maybe even bigger black dots. Oh, yes. Like that. Let it dry. Let them dry. Dry them. And then we'll just do the little white boop boop in the middle. I'm getting glare and can't see. I like it. There, that's just a little extra. So now you're just going to cut all these out, and really I was really surprised at how many it took to do my one little book. And not all of them, you know, like this was a flower, and then those were separate leaves that I put together, and then those were it's just a sampler, you know. This was two separate doodles, and then I just put it together, so it was like a flower on a stem. This one I drew with the stem and the leaves, and then those are just coming out of that for no reason. They don't have to look like real flowers. Again, I just pieced them together. Same with that. So yeah, then you just glue them on, and on these I just used glue stick. And then I cut a strip out of the magazine and stuck a flower on here, and I just made it a little bit loose so that I could slip it on. You know, it's just decorative. So there is how to make a zine from a zine. Turning one zine into another zine. This was fun, y'all. If you've managed to watch all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon. The end.